This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, but it isn't just any day in the arena. I'm recording on January 2nd. And let's see, I think it was like an hour before midnight on January 1st, the year 2021, we kicked the new year off right by crossing that great threshold, the mile marker, the coming of age, the passing of the torch, the whatever you want to call it, the great milestone that is 100,000 subs on YouTube. So, for those who don't know, when you pass 100,000 subs on YouTube, you get a trophy. You don't get a lot of trophies as an adult. You know, once you've gotten out of college and once you've done all your high school and all your sports and all things like that, people don't stop and give you trophies anymore. You spend most of your time, if you have the typical life, giving trophies and watching younger people get trophies for the rest of your life. So make sure to celebrate your achievements wherever you find them as you get older. It's not self-centered. It's the fact that most people have lives to live, and we put so much energy into our kids, and people celebrate for like athletes and celebrities and things like that, but most of us, we don't get much credit for the hard work that we do. There's not usually a standing ovation. There's not usually a room full of people to tell you how great you are after you accomplish things that you want to accomplish. So celebrate them. Treat yourself well. It's not self-centered. It's not bragging. It's the fact that no one's going to do it for you anymore. So you have to make sure you enjoy a good moment. And this should be a good moment. Thankfully, I'm a lucky guy. I got all of you. I won't be celebrating this one alone. Gosh, the support in the comments from the last few days has been crazy. The countdowns going on in the comments of my videos, in the Discord, on the Twitters. Pretty freaking amazing, for sure. And yeah, there it is. 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not anything I ever thought would be my life at any point until this year. This year was the first year I ever thought that this was really possible, and man, did it pay off. So we're going to play a party deck. And don't worry, we're going to get back into the speeches and the mushy stuff. I have a lot of thanks and a lot of things like that to go through. Some things I really want to say because it wouldn't be right if I didn't on this day. But I know that many of you, most of you, you're here for gameplay. You came to see the show. So we're going to play Jeskai Party. Seemed appropriate. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm interested to learn more. We've got This isn't the typical like 30 creature party deck where that tries to attack the opponent and kill them extremely quickly. This deck is, in CGB fashion, a lot more dirtily, because when I look at party, I saw all these cards that like buff each other, make a bunch of 1/1s, give things indestructible, and I was like, lame. However, give me a good 1-mana counterspell. Give me a good 1-mana Oblivion Ring, or even 1 or 2 mana. Give me a draw 3, gain 3 life. Now we're talking. I can party with that. That's a CGB party. And there ain't no party like a CGB party, because a CGB party draws cards. This deck isn't designed to create full party. It's designed to be sort of a mid-rangey control deck that puts out a few creatures that are hard for the opponent to deal with. Also interacts with Brazen Borrower, Soul Seer, and Scorching Dragonfire. Uses Outlaw's Merriment to generate some of our party favors. And really it's all about reducing the cost of Journey to Oblivion and Spoils of Adventure, and drawing cards from there. We also have Fate of Wishes, so our wish board is crowded. We have 3 Legion Angels in there because there's one of those in the deck because it's a warrior, and we've got a variety of other things to fetch. I don't know if I picked the right things to fetch. We have a Fabled Passage to fix our mana, a Heliod's Intervention to blow up all the foods, ovens, and trails of crumbs, maybe a bunch of glass caskets and banishing lights. Maybe Doom Foretold hates this. 1 Ugin to fool the noobs into fetching it. 1 Inspired Ultimatum, because we're a Jeskai deck that doesn't play colorless lands, so that is very exciting. 1 Journey to Oblivion, because it can often be a very cheap removal spell that hits everything. 1 Storm's Wrath, we might need to take out some planeswalkers, and we might need to take out some creatures, so I went with Storm's Wrath instead of Shatter the Sky. A Soul Seer and a Dragonfire and a Shock to add some fetchable removal to the sideboard to keep the board nice and clean. A Negate, a Miscast to keep the opponent from casting things like Genesis Ultimatum or Sweepers, and a Light of Hope for a little burst of life gain or destroy target enchantment. And that's the wish board for Fae of Wishes. The mana should be pretty good. I don't think we need the land base camp since it enters the battlefield tapped. It's pretty awkward anyway. I like the 3 passages because we only have 5 basic lands. And of course, the Triome is one of the draws into Jeskai. And since we're a slower deck, we don't need to worry about untapped land on turn 1, which is what kind of the more aggressive party decks have a big time struggling with, getting that curve to flow so freely. But yeah, our game plan, Seasoned Hollowblade in the deck, because obviously if we draw extra cards, making it indestructible is good, and it's not a bad blocker. You can just get in front of those, what are they, Brushfire Elementals, as you may have seen in a recent stream of mine. And because I didn't want to put most of the clerics that I saw in the deck, oddly clerics are somehow aggressive. What's going on? Skyclave Cleric, which is also a land, is what I chose as my clerics. Fae of Wishes is a wizard, so it's doing double duty on that. Wizard is the hardest one to get because you don't make a wizard with Outlaw's Merriment. And so we have Limvala and Fae of Wishes doing that job. And remember, Brazen Borrower, besides being a sweet little piece of interaction, is also a rogue. That's the deck. I haven't played a single game. I built it for today. In dramatically weird fashion, usually it's not a problem for me in the least to sum up the will to play Magic. I always consider a privilege that I get to wake up and play this game, even after so many years and so many videos. But for the last 24 hours, I just haven't been able to bring myself to like build new decks and play them. I've just been absolutely wrapped up and overwhelmed by all the people who have been so enthusiastic and so supportive of me on the internet. I don't know, man. I felt paralyzed. Like any move I make could never live up to the expectations. And then I tell myself the expectations are not what's important. What's important is I give the people what they want. And they want me to make a new deck every day. And they want me to play and have fun and gatekeep mono red and slap them around. And I don't know why they want it. I can't believe it myself, but they want it. So the best thing I can do today is build a deck, play it, see how it does, and then we're going to do more thank yous and more heartfelt stuff afterwards. So on that note, let's dive into some gameplay, because that's what we freaking do here, and let the nonsense begin. Proving Grounds. We smash up the play queue. We'll play some ranked at the end. Mom Spaghetti moment. How will the 100,000 subs era begin? With a bang, with a whimper, with a mono red on the draw, with missed land drops? Let's find out. Probably not with this hand. We got some nice clerics that can double as mana. We got a Triome. Our opponent has Hateful Eidolon. That's bad. That laughs at all of our creatures. But if they don't have a quick clock, we can probably just play around their removal, their enchantment-based removal, until we get rid of the Eidolon. So that means we don't just come out and play these cards. We don't want them to be drawing cards for playing enchantments. And we want them to cast Demonic Embrace or something like that, so that we can blow it out with the Borrower. And if they don't, we just chill. Okay. Good. Like, we can take our time. They're only doing 2 damage to us a turn, and they're not doing anything else. So we can wait until we find a way to get rid of this Eidolon. That's a little more obnoxious.
You wish you had a fraction of my power.
Alright, send it back. What do we discard? I think the Hollow Blade's the worst card here. just dies to their dead weights.
I really don't care about your
They don't have many cards left. Oh, hello. No! Wait, yes, we put it on red. That'll do it. I had a moment of I can't cast this, then I remembered how cards work. It was awesome. Okay, they're not putting Liliana back down. They want to add more to the board. We're going to get a party member, so Journey to Oblivion is an option. We don't have an easy way to kill this. They might have an enchantment to kill this and draw a card. I know that it's tempting to play the Journey, take out the Scavenger, but I don't know if that's right when we could play another one of these. We can also Brazen Borrow to ambush the Scavenger, which I think is better. So let's say go. Let's play this land and say go. Oh, say go. We really want to hold the Journey to hit the Liliana. We want the Brazen Borrower to block the Nighthawk. Yeah, this is unfortunate and not what I wanted to happen, but it doesn't hurt nearly as bad now that we're getting free creatures every turn. Because eventually they'll run out of that crap, and eventually we'll draw a way to get rid of the Eidolon. Alright. Wonder if they saw that. Onboard tricks can get you. 1 damage. They're going to have a way to bring these out of the graveyard, which would make a 5/5. Do I care about the 5/5? Do I have another way to deal damage? No, I think we just make them get it back. Another Merriment. And Spoils of Adventure is castable here. I think we just get more Merriments going, and we hold this to discard to Liliana if they play Liliana. She's back.
I have the right to choose my own fate. And yours.
Patience, patience, patience.
I have no interest in fighting.
Alright, 2 dorks. 1 damage. Would make it awkward for either of these to block the 1/2, but we don't know which one that would block, so we go at Lily, I guess. If we were going to Journey the Lily, I just don't think I am. I think what I'm going to do is Spoils of Adventure and play another Merriment, because that's awesome. Who are you and what have you done with CGB? Actually, I can't do both, can I? Yeah, we can just play another Merriment. Let's send the 2/1 lifelinker after Lily. Not surprised by the block. So they're definitely a Call the Death Dweller deck. The question is if, when they'll find it. Hold this to discard to Liliana. 3 Merriments. Here comes the dead weights and a little card draw action from the opponent. We'll see how many of these they can hit. There's going to be another 3 creatures next turn. Whoa, does not want to discard any of these cards. So I'm guessing that's a Rankle and maybe another enchantment. Oh my. Oh my, we hit all human clerics. Doing it. Doing it. All right, I'll draw. Consecrated Defense. It only hits for 2 right now. So, where are you going? Don't you want to have a drink with us? Okay, better than expected, bringing heat to the play queue. Let's try ranked. Mom Spaghetti. Jeskai party deck, you get 1 shot. Can you handle Platinum 1? Rank reset, by the way, because of the beginning of the new season. Soul Asiya. Shatterskull Smashing. Yeah, let's do it. It's a very weird kind of control-y hand, but we're a weird control-y deck. If we draw Merriment or Spoils of Adventure, it's pretty good. Yorion. So this is a good matchup for Consecrated Defense, probably a good matchup for Fae of Wishes too, as it will probably go long. or longer than the typical match. Tome. Easy Brazen Bee. We'll just wait till the opponent uses it. They're like, I scry. They didn't even scry. Nice. Very nice. Let's see if they want to draw a card on their turn. Very reactive control deck vibes that we're getting from them right now. Yeah, if they tap it to draw a card, they can't threaten to counter something, guys. And if they can't threaten to counter something, their soul as a gamer might be replaced. I do know this feeling. I've learned a lot more in recent years that you just don't spend... Oh, I like it. Yeah. You just don't spend all your time being like, I hold up counter magic and expect that to work. Good players, they just know how to abuse you for that. So you have to take risks, and you have to know when to take risks. So I applaud the opponent for drawing with their Maze Mind Tome. Most people, many old school counter magic players don't have the guts. They just don't have the guts for such a play. Anyway, we'll drop Limvala. Make the opponent answer this Skyclave Apparition, Glass Casket, something like that, while they were tapped out. Then we can, on their turn, like next turn, we can either Fae of Wishes or we can Brazen Borrower at the end of their turn. Oh, they need land? They should have scryed if they needed land. Usually if they play Omen on their turn, it's because they need land. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's find out. One to the top, one to the bottom. Okay. We could have also, let's see, we could have let it go under the casket, actually. Maybe that would have been strictly better. Yeah, I think that was a mistake that I just made. Alright, what do we get against Yorion? It's tempting to get a negate and not lose a fight that way. Let's have a look. Miscast. Yes, Inspired Ultimatum, Negate, Storm's Wrath, Fable Passage, Soulseer, Dragonfire Journey to Oblivion. Ugin! If they don't run counterspells, the correct play is Ugin or Inspired Ultimatum. Especially looking at how much mana we have. If they do run counterspells, the correct grabs are Miscast, Negate, to fight a counterspell war, but right now we have nothing worth resolving. I'm going to grab Ultimatum. I'm going to take a chance that they're not a counterspell deck, that they're relying on Yorion value to grind out me and other aggro decks out. Like I said before, you got to take risks. You got to take risks. So this means we need to start playing red sources because it's triple red. That'll do. Let's see, do we want to play two creatures here? I think I want to play Fae when I can also get it back. I think I can have mana left over next turn. Alright, go for Fae. Red. Pass turn, hold up Borrower. And Soulseer, but there probably won't be a reason to use it. I guess they could go for a Yorion. Inspired Ultimatum can also deal 5 to a Yorion. No, not the manual taps. Anything but the manual taps. Oh my goodness. Can't believe I queued into a Yorion Jeskai control. Whoa, main phase. Some rogue hate there. Still no evidence that they're a counterspell player. They hit me with the oops. Did you really not find land? That's insane. Alright. Here's the Borrower. We'll put some pressure on their life total. Just a little bit. You can handle it. They're roping me considering what to do with a Fabled Passage. And they discard Baneslayer Angel. Boomslayer Angel. Go get Miscast, I think. That's a good draw. That is a good draw. If the opponent plays Yorion, we play Inspired Ultimatum. Counter target instant or sorcery, unless its controller pays 3. Should make their life a bit awkward. Scry to the top. It must be the land. And we'd be fetching. They wanted their scry to matter. They definitely have a decent understanding of the game. They should have scryed earlier with their tome, though, if there was any question about mana being an issue. Like that turn where they didn't scry at all. Maybe they were playing around Brazen Borrower, but I think that's too narrow of a thing to do. Personally, my opinion. Skyclave resolves through the Miscast, takes out the Borrower. They're holding up a negate that may or may not be real, but we can wait another turn. I guess we can do this later. Let's attack. We play the Plains. Next turn we have Miscast plus Ultimatum. So we play Fae of Wishes. And then we, on their end step, we Soul Sear their Apparition. Or in response to their Yorion, if they play a Yorion. But you see them like holding 2 mana open turn after turn now. We need to make sure this resolves. It's face up. They know about it. They also know about this. So if they just leave all mana open, we need to pressure them, which is why Soul Sear the Apparition is pretty brutal. Okay. That's something. Could have miscast it, but that's not the goal. I think this means for sure that we resolve Genesis. Inspired Ultimatum next turn. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. I hope they plus. I can Soul Sear the Narset. Or I can just attack the Narset. They do plus. Let's see what they do with the mana. Nothing. They do nothing with the mana. Alright, guys. I think we go after the Apparition, because it creates 5 power, which can then attack the Narset. The opponent's in a bind here. If they do anything, they get miscast. Alright, so we can use a blue. We don't want to reveal this yet. Let's attack the Narset and see if they try to stop the Narset from dying. Okay, easy. Take 3. Target player gain 5 life. Target player take 5. So, is your negate bluff over? Are we going to drag it out longer? Are we going to keep dancing around miscast? Uh-huh. How about no? I'll take the 5, thank you. Sweet. Sweet! Could have used some more card draw, though. Some spoils. Oh my god, that's so CGB. That is so CGB to draw 5 and be like, oh, why didn't I draw more card draw? Perfect CGB moment. They get their shatter. They alleviate some pressure. Hollow Blade, they probably have ways to exile it. They gain 4 life from the tome. The game goes on. The early stages are over, but the game definitely goes on. Oh, I'm kind of concerned. Like I said, they probably have ways to exile the Hollow Blade. What can we bounce with Borrower? Probably not much. Let's also play a Skyclave Cleric, and then we can bounce, play Borrower. If we play the Plains, we can bounce. We can play Cleric, we can bounce with Borrower, and play Borrower. I just don't know what I need to bounce. It's probably just a 3-1, so I don't think we need to play the Plains, so we can hold it to discard it to the Hollow Blade. Trying to do everything right. It's hard. We also want Consecrated Defense up, and we want it to cost, like, to make the opponent pay as much extra as possible. So we can really turn up pressure, hopefully draw another Spoils of War, cast that, keep things going. Or Outlaw's Merriment, just something. Merriment's probably terrible against them because of ECD, though. Okay. That's kind of good. We can tap that indefinitely. Not indefinitely, but you know what I mean. We have Soulseer and Journey to Oblivion to force damage, and now they don't want to sweep. Now they really don't want to sweep. Unfortunately, we don't have enough to kill them over 2 turns without adding 2 more damage to the board. We can add 1 more damage to the board, but not 2. Opponent might let this go and then play an ECD to get it back. If they do that, they might get defensed. Okay, they do hexproof it. They gave up an Apparition. That's a big thing to give up in this spot. I don't think I play this Cleric. I think I hold it. I think I hold things to discard to Hollow Blade. I still think a Sweeper's on the table. Actually, an untapped land here lets me defense, Soulseer, and Triumph. So I'll discard this if I have to. Here comes Trolleys. I should have done this on upkeep, but I think it's okay. Let's see if they do anything else here. They try to pass to attackers. Here's the Seer. How many counters you got? I've only seen 1 negate so far. We see cards like Baneslayer Angel. Okay, another Apparition. Their hand must be good. This game is probably... We're probably behind now, quite honestly. With a Dream Trawler on the board, a lethal we're not going to find next turn. Even with a counter and a good attack in hand, I think we're behind. They'll probably have a way to play through anything we try to do. That won't... I can't defend against that very well. It's not enough. Casket resolves. I mean, yeah, they're playing around everything pretty well. I didn't like some of their sequencing with lands, but every other sequence that they've done has been perfect. Probably a legend, an LVD watcher. You can tell. The methodical nature. Can't do anything now. Right? It's pay 3. Yeah, this is easy mode for them. By Yorion. If they had done that in any other sequence, the counter would have worked. Borrower. Spoils. At last, I might add. Would have been nicer with a bigger party. Okay, Merriment. I don't think that's really going to help me much. But I think it's what we have to play. The opponent's going to blink this and this. We can smash that. We're going to start taking hits from the trawler. I don't think it's worth paying life to hold this up because I don't think it matters anymore. Opponent's seen it, they're playing around it. It doesn't matter. So this is where an Elspeth Conqueror's Death is just like the end. The Shadow Skull smashing could still have a role if there's a Yorion to kill and a Dream Trawler to tap, but unlikely to matter. I think we're done. I guess we can still fetch an Ugin, right? Yeah? Fae of Wishes fetching Ugin is a thing? So we should try to hang on for it? Ah! Deck! Why are you like this? Deck. Deck. Come on now. Alright. Can't get taxed. Can't have that thing ticking. Boing. Hollow Blade. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we play this tap now. Because we need 1, 2, 3, 4 to fetch and 8 to Ugin in one turn. It's conceivable we live 2 more turns and that the top card is land and the card after that is Fae of Wishes. And that it resolves. I'm sure that's possible. I think I do this, then try to ambush. They may not hexproof here. The Borrowers face up. But it would be a mistake. I don't think they're going to make a mistake. I should have done this pre-combat though, 100%. They say oops. I mean, it's definitely an oops for me. I didn't sequence it well. A little too tilted by what's going on here. Opponent might try to glimpse of freedom into something. If I were them, I'd just let the Trawler go and play the Yorion. You don't need the Trawler to beat me. You have a million other cards going for you. Because Trawler is a beast. Okay. They might go for a Shatter after this, then we rip spoils and game on? But probably not. They're gonna have so much life. It's like starting over from absolutely nothing with them having a full grip. Yeah, they had played really well, but that was pretty bad. Bad on my part, but also bad on their part. Little oopsie trades. Man, they are playing so perfectly around this concerted defense ever since, I don't know, I guess they never saw that card. They've only seen miscast. Anyway, I've had enough. I think it's too narrow, and this person is so methodical it's going to take the rest of the video. So I'll take my defeat on that one, but good game. And we are back for the post-game wrap, and party decks are bad, Outlaws Merriment is terrible, and Jank Weeks are stupid. Let's never speak of them again. But, you know, party is party. Sometimes you just need to take a minute and celebrate and not worry about whether or not the deck is in any way competitively viable. Just kind of try to kick it back with your friends, have some fun. Let's face it, the challenge of building a competitively viable deck every single day across archetypes, especially really bad ones like Party, it's a challenge, and one that I took on quite a while ago. I certainly believed when I set out to make these videos that the most important thing I could do was show people how to play well. As time went by, I realized that people didn't care about playing well nearly as much as they cared about seeing their favorite decks. At least that was early on when I was trying to get subscribers and get fans. So I started playing a wide variety of decks. Then I realized what people actually want is they don't want to see a wide variety of decks. They want to see a wide variety of decks doing well. They want to see the deck they like, their style of Magic, doing well. And for some people, that's not an option. They want some terrible jank pile, and they want it to win. And I can't do that. But there are a number of things that I can do pretty well with. Yorium piles of all different sizes, for example. So I try to at least change it up enough, but I try to keep it competitive, and that's not going to change. I'm not going to play bad decks anymore. This is about as bad as it gets, and it's still, it scraps a little bit. This is a bit of a party, but for people asking for Jank Week, there might be the occasional nonsense that I feel I have to do when an exciting new card is spoiled, but my goal right now is to give you guys something that you can take out on the ladder and win with that might match your playstyle. There's a lot of different personality types and styles in Magic, and if on a regular basis I can give you something that matches your playstyle that helps you succeed, that's the true value. I don't feature decks on this channel, except for on days like this, that I don't believe in. There's a cutting room floor that is littered with all the decks I try, but they lose too much. So the footage is scrapped, the footage is deleted, the deck is deleted. If I don't think I can salvage it, or I save it, I wait till the meta shifts, or I try to figure out a few different card choices. But if you see a deck from me, unless I specifically say it's absolutely just a meme like this one, I believe you can play it and rank up with it if you like it, and it's your style. That's what the channel tries to provide. If I were to make a value proposition to you, that's what I'm going for. But that's not enough either. I've, over the years, tried harder and harder to be an entertainer, and I continue to work on that. I try to lure you in with the promise of education, and then I try to get you addicted to my little world of funny things to say, and keep you around. Funny comments, pop culture references, silly songs, catchphrases, whatever it takes. I try to up the entertainment value, make it fun. And if you wanted to know my New Year's resolution for 2021, it is simply this. I want to continue sharing the best game in the world, the game I have loved since I was a very, very young CGB. I want to keep sharing it with you and finding ways to make it entertaining. I want you to have this. I want you to experience the love for this game that I had, because it quite literally, from the age of 12 onward, has changed my life. And that was before I was a content creator even. Now it's even more so. So if I can keep you in the game, entertained, and getting some W's, because let's face it, we like to win. I mean, we like to play a few memey, nonsensical things, but come on. Admit it. Admit it. You like to win. I'm going to try to show you some stuff that matches your playstyle and can help you win. Just win, Rocky, win. All right, that is the gameplay and Magic strategy section of the video. Now the part some of you have been waiting for and many of you might turn off for. Celebration time. I've got a lot of thank yous to read out to people who have been with me on the journey and the 100,000 subs. I'm going to say it again. I've never really felt pressure like I did with this 100 subs coming up and like I do today to make every single video better than the last one and everything more epic. And I promise you, the spark will arrive to do things epic, to do showdowns, to do special content, to do crazy stuff. Trust me, I have things in the works. But today, upon actually hitting the milestone, to be honest, where I am is tired and grateful. And I just want to take a moment to reflect and say some nice words for some people who I feel really deserve it. Thank you. Number one goes to my wife. Been with me for so long, supports all of my nonsense. Literally, she took over running a business that is a lot of work so that I could be here with you guys every day. And she is killing it. Very, very proud of her. And I appreciate her so much. So it starts there. Number two, my mom. My mom for supporting my absolute silliness in Magic the Gathering. She probably still doesn't know how YouTube works or what a Twitch stream is or any of that stuff. But when I was just a young kid, just kind of an outcast in my school who wasn't that good at sports, she supported my hobbies no matter what they were. And she bought plane tickets and flew out to New York, drove me like 8 to 9 hours into Ohio, took me to Detroit over and over again, drove me to the tournaments. My sister and I gave us all the opportunities to pursue this crazy game competitively, even though I don't think she fully understood what the heck was going on. It was never a question for her, and she did it. So wouldn't be here without her. Then we're going to get into the Magic stuff. Shout out to the Magic Duels crew. Believe it or not, I started content creation as a Magic Duels content creator. Let's can we sort? We can go to videos. We can sort them, right? I think. Community. I know I can on mobile. Here it is. Oldest. Magic Duels Diaries Live. Boros tokens going 9-1. My first video was a Boros token deck. Shame. Shame on CGB. Then here we are. Esper Control. I even net decked it. I was just trying it to show somebody else how I did with their deck. But Magic Duels content. Recorded. So cringe. So freaking cringe. Oh my goodness. Literally recorded from my Xbox with a Kinect. No cam. This was the start of the content creation journey. The name CovertGoBlue comes from Xbox Live. It was auto-generated. We're smorking. Oh my goodness. Look at this attack. It's for a freaking million. But yeah, it was auto-generated, and I went live with it using the Kinect on Xbox, and here we are. Who would have known where we would end up? I certainly didn't. Somewhere in here is like my first face cam reveal, which is, God, watching my old content, hearing my voice, seeing my face. I didn't know what I was doing, but I never thought I'd have an audience. I never thought I would get paid for it. It was all a hobby, so it was very much something I did with my spare time, take it or leave it kind of thing. So I didn't worry much about that. Here's one with my face. I think this was the first one with my face. Look at that young guy. Look at that handsome. Look at that camera angle. Straight right up the frickin' nose. As it was intended. Anyway, this was going to be... Oh, and I'm net decking LVD. Oh my god. That's how far back me and Legend go. Net decking him on January 15th of 2017. Oh, baby. Well, that should get me back into the thank yous. So there's kind of a tier of thank yous here. First up, the Duels crew. These are content creators who inspired me, who I watched make Magic Duels content. I'm not going to mention Legend. I'll get back to him later, so don't panic. Nighthawk, Hakeem928, Primal Hunt Cheeks, Mobius Chicken Strips, Thelona, Sheolin CB, aka Monk. Thank you guys very much for being there in the Magic Duel scene with me. You guys were my peers from the very beginning, the people I both emulated and competed with. I'm a very competition-driven person, as you'll see from these lists. Content creators drive me to be better. So the inspirations when I first got started, these are content creators I watched before I started streaming myself, most of which don't make content anymore. Weapons of Mass Gaming, Headcase, Technivolver, Nemo, and Daisho. And the person I learned the most from was Headcase. He had a series called The Journey, where he had this story he would tell about his pet, who was like a saproling, and he was playing the same deck, Dodge and Burn, but he was trying to get to, I think, 100 wins. And every deck he played against was like a character in the story. And he weaved this narrative. And I try to build narrative with every video now. I don't weave a wide narrative, like every single video has a story. Every single video is related to the last video. But I have tried things like that, like the 12 Days of Yorion. But I try to add narrative. Whether the narrative is that we're trying to get to a certain rank, that we're trying to beat a certain deck, or that we're just experimenting with a certain pile for the meta as it is. And I learned a lot from him about storytelling, so he'll never see this, but you know, if Headcase is out there, he should see this. Also, Wingspan TT goes on that inspirations list. My early day MTG Arena streams that I watched were Muffin Pastry Pie and Mega Mogwai. So neither of them usually make Magic content anymore. But a sincere thank you to them for the entertainment early on. And next up, the inspirations in MTG Arena and also peers, people who have encouraged me, helped me chase the dream. Noxious. Noxious, very early on, had some words of advice for me that I took to heart. He's sent me a few messages here and there, and he's been very supportive throughout. And I really appreciate a lot of things about his style. I appreciate his experimentation. If you want jank, he's definitely for you. I learned in the long run that wasn't really for me, but it certainly suits his style and gave me a lot to work for in the beginning. We'll go big CGV face here since we're not talking about the deck anymore. So definitely didn't want to do this without Noxious. He also had this cool song at the end of his videos and it came from Hearthstone. It was the I can't sing it. I just always remember the line, "Now we will play Hearthstone even though my deck sucks." And it was like an auto-tune remix. It was a cool song. That's why I always have an outro tune on my channel, because I wanted my own outro tune. And thanks a lot to Brainfly, who's out there somewhere, who made that for me. And then there is another one. This is a big one. Merchant. When we all got started in Arena, and Merchant really blew up, and I always said to myself, I'll never be as likable or as interesting, or I won't have an accent. I sort of told myself a lot of stories that I couldn't ever succeed at this because I wasn't as, I don't know, what the audience might look for as Merchant was. So was very driven just by his presence and success to try to better myself, but I think I did it in the wrong way. I was trying so hard to be like other people, but Merchant helped me with that too. First of all, he introduced me to my editors so I could do daily videos. I still use those editors, so thank you very much for that. I'll thank the editors in a minute. So, but second of all, Merchant invited me to Brawl Hall 2. And even though I'm not a very casual player. And of course I played a blue-white control deck, and the comments in Brawl Hall 2, they hated me so much. I lost in the semifinals, but most people didn't even comment on the winner or much else that happened in the tournament. Most of the comments on the video were about how much people hated me and my control deck and how happy they were that I lost. And those comments hurt my feelings so badly for a few weeks, but I kept logging in every day and reading them. It was like a train wreck. I couldn't stop reading them because I was trying to be likable. I was really honestly suppressing a lot of things about myself to try to be like LVD, like Merchant, like MTG Jeff. Just very chill, what I thought the Magic community really wanted me to be. And just super nice, good game every time. All those things that you guys give me crap for. But anyway, it was reading those comments for a few weeks on Brawl Hall 2 that made me realize that I was never going to be that person. That at my heart, I wanted to win. I'm a competitive player. I want this. And I decided I also took a lesson from pro wrestling. Like, no reaction is bad. A negative reaction where people dislike you can be a good thing. So I leaned into it, and honestly, that loss in Brawlhalla 2 was the beginning of the creation of Evil CGB, or what would eventually become the One in Best of One, which is the character I am now, an amped up version of myself. The person who goes to FNM and tries way too hard, you know, that guy. That smug, punchable face. Leaning into what I do have instead of what I don't have. In Brawlhalla 3, which Merchant invited me back for, even though so many comments on Brawlhalla 2 said, don't invite him back, Merchant invited me back anyway. And I played an even more evil deck, and I won. And the comments, again, hated me so much. But rather than run from it, I leaned into it. I made it a part of this character, a part of this channel. Yes, we like control decks. Yes, we like winning. Yes, we're going to frickin' go for it. Yes, we're going to torture red mages. Yes, that's who I am. And ever since that happened, ever since Brawlhalla 3, I felt so much better making content. I've had so much more fun. And even though I still get hate for the way that I portray myself on YouTube, the BM emotes, the control decks, everything like that, the try-hardy, the mega try-hard way, you might call it douchey. You could say a lot of things about it. I get hate for that every day, and I don't care anymore because I can tell you guys have fun with it. I've connected with a certain group. I don't use it in my opinion, I don't use it in a toxic way at all. In fact, the thing that people give me the hardest time about is my opinion of good game, getting salty when I lose, and BM emotes. And BM in real life, like, is bad, and I wouldn't do it. But online, it just builds character, man. You get a thicker skin. You get stronger. At least that's the way I approach it. It's not harming that many people, and we've used the platform that we've built to do a lot of good, including raising over $12,000 for Extra Life charity this year. So I think some BM emotes are, if that's the extent of your evil, I don't think you can be too mad. And I'm very happy. I'm excited to make content now, and I'm excited to be this character and put on the show for you guys. And it's what I love. And none of that would have come together without Merchant, is what I'm trying to say. So besides hooking me up with my editors, besides being genuinely supportive for a long time, besides taking some time to share some DMs back and forth when we're both feeling a little burnt out and frustrated with these things, besides sharing our love of pro wrestling, hashtag Bullet Club, too sweet, hand signal, I'm not ready, all right, there we go. Anyway, besides that, Merchant introducing me to the editors, inviting me to Brawlhalla 2, inviting me back to Brawlhalla 3 when so many people didn't want me to, and just kind of being an understanding guy. Merchant deserves a lot of credit at this 100 subs milestone, and he's been chilling on MTG lately. I can tell the second half of 2020 was pretty tough for him. Same with Noxious. So if you guys would be supportive, one of the risks of talking about other content creators on your video is that people take a moment, and for some reason they feel like this opens a door to allow them to say what they don't like about content creators. If I say I like so-and-so, there's always a few people that jump into comments, and what they say is, well, the reason I don't like so-and-so is this, and the reason I like you better than so-and-so is this. And please don't. Time and a place, this is not the time, this is not the place. Like, that's your opinion, it's fine. I don't want to fight you over it. But now's not the time to share it. This is the time to thank people. And I know that Merchant and Noxious have both had a pretty hard 2020. I hope you guys will stick with them and give them some views if they kick back into MTG video mode as Kaldheim approaches. Please be supportive. I know as a content creator, that's what I would want. All right, Soapbox. Next up, Alias, my nemesis. She's been very kind to me. We've done a lot of collabs, and you know, she exploded onto the scene by it seemed like she came out of nowhere and was she was a commentator at the Mythic Invitational, which was epic, and her stream took off. And she's such a hardworking person, but she always made time. You know, she's helped me make some things on my stream better. She has a lot of technical smarts, and she always treated me like I really mattered, even though she was surrounded by people from the MPL and Wizards of the Coast. I'm not trying to put anybody down with this, but let's just say that was unique, and I appreciate her a lot. So she just hit 25,000 subscribers. Give her a sub on the channel. Genuinely, like, a really good person, a really hard worker. I've always been impressed by how much work she puts in. Next up, MTG Nerd Girl. Speaking of hard workers, I don't know anybody who works harder than her. So check out her Twitch stream. Subscribe there. Somebody who really works for everything, and another person who always treated me like I mattered, and one of my best friends in the content creator space. I really hope that she has an amazing year, and I wish her a ton of success. And I said it on my New Year's Eve stream, but I probably would have given up. I think I would have given up on being a content creator in the middle of last year when I was going through a tough time. She was the person who kind of stepped up and made me feel like I mattered, and encouraged me and gave me tips, showed me some things that I could do better. So big shout out to her. Now we're going to talk about some of the next ups. These are guys who have pushed me. Competition, like I said, always has helped me improve. And these are the next ones to 100,000. I hope you guys go sub these guys if they're your speed. They probably are if you enjoy Magic the Gathering content. Legend, LVD. Next up for sure, in my opinion. Mono Black Magic, the Jank Master. If you like fun and you like jank, please go there. You can post that you want jank in my comments forever. I'm not going to reply. But Mono gives it to you on a regular basis, so go check him out. I can't wait for him to hit 100,000. People always mention MTG Original Decks. He and I have never had a dialogue. I've enjoyed some of his content, I'll say that, but he is definitely on the path to 100,000. And MTG Jeff, somebody who we did a collab a long time ago, a really nice guy. If you don't like evil CGB, if you want nice, polite Magic the Gathering, and if you're into historic, something people ask me for all the time, go check out MTG Jeff. Then we've got the up-and-comers. These are the ones who I think are going to take over the platform, the ones who will dethrone me someday. They're putting in good work. They make great content. Absurd Heroine, Hello Good Game, Dr. Spillikin, Power Dragon. You guys, you're the next ones on the mission. If you want some awesome up-and-coming MTG channels, check those out. I'm going to try to put lots of links in the description too. It's going to take me a while to make that description. I think it's worth it. Many of you have already heard of these, but if you haven't, you can check that out. Absurd Heroine, Jank, Hello Good Game, budget builds, new player, probably one of the most new player friendly channels, and just multiple videos a day, including spiky content. I think he got to Mythic in like 7 hours or something. I think that's a live video now. Check him out. Dr. Spillikin, I would say mostly jank, but he does variety content, daily videos, really chill vibe. Power Dragon, daily videos, good aggro mage, very smart guy, has been on the Pro Tour, has commentated on the competitive scene. So check him out if you want competitive, but more aggro, less control. I'm more control, less aggro. Next up, gotta thank the editors. Maddie B, who you know, YouTube Makers, the company ran by a dude named Rudy, who handles the dailies. Maddie B handles special occasions. Yeah, 2 editors. I have 2 editors that I use. Getting to do almost 700 videos in a row, which, by the way, I think that's coming up either tomorrow or the next day. You can't do it without having plans on plans and a team. I don't know how people can do it alone. I would never try to do it alone. So the editors are the backbone of the channel. They're the behind the scenes. They're the ones making sure that the video is there every day. And without them, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. I'd burn out. No doubt. So I love the special effects and extra content from Maddie B, an actual film writer and editor. You should check out his movies. I linked to one in the past. Anyway, and Rudy from YouTube Makers just cranking them out kind of the straightforward. Here's the deck tech. Here's the gameplay. Here's the ending videos on a regular basis. Sponsors. 2 awesome sponsors that believed in me from the beginning. CoolStuffInc.com and eSportsGold.com. Please check out both of those. Links in the description. They, unlike a lot of esports teams and a lot of sponsors that bind you into contracts, bad deals, or can make things tougher for you, they basically let me be me. And that's why I partner with them. And I appreciate them so much. And definitely go to CoolStuffInc.com because there's this CGB token. I'm going to put this on screen for like 2 seconds. Yep. So check that out. If you pre-order any booster box, use the promo code CGB5, get a CGB Shark token with Kaldheim. Freaking exciting. I can't believe they made me into a token. Just another thing that honestly makes me feel like I'm here, you know, like this is my life now. I am a content creator. That validation means so much when you're a content creator. I don't know how to explain it. Next up, now we get to the end. I'm almost done. I know this is a hell of a monologue, but it wouldn't be right if I didn't get a lot of this out there. Thank you to my little sister, 2 years younger than me. She and I basically learned Magic together. We lived in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have other people to really play with. Neighbors, you had to walk like half a mile to get to a neighbor who had kids. She played Magic with me. She learned Magic too, 2 years younger than me. She was also on the Pro Tour, one of the first women to do it. So proud of her. And thanks for all the games. Now she's a doctor. She doesn't play much anymore. She's out there somewhere. I don't think I'd have made it without somebody to play with. And she was there for me through those early years. And she continues to be in my life among my very best friends. A sibling who I am very close with and who I love dearly and wish nothing but the best for. And she's about to have her second baby anytime now. So my absolute best to Kim, who is out there somewhere, may not watch this, but I'm sure she tells people from time to time that her big brother is CovertGoBlue. I hope that she's as proud of me as I am of her. All right. Next one, some silly ones. Wizards, thank you for not banning me. I don't know what I would have done to do it, but God knows. We'll just get that one out there. Twitter, thank you for not canceling me. Don't know what it would have been for, but it just happens these days. And of course, the big thank yous to the fans. Up first, the supporters on Patreon, the subscribers on Twitch, and Twitch Prime subscribers on Twitch, and the members on YouTube who financially support the channel above and beyond. It's free content, but without supporters, it wouldn't make it. So thank you so much to all of you. You guys get an extra special thank you today. If you supported the channel at any point, it makes it possible for the content to be here. If like 2% of people support the channel, like put in $5 a month, it makes it possible for the content to be here for everyone else. So if you can't afford to pay for the channel, leave a thank you to the people who do in the comments, because they help me be here for you every day. And if you have extra money, I'm not asking for money from people who can't afford it. Please don't support me if you can't afford it. But if you can afford it and you love the content, then consider either joining on YouTube, becoming a member on YouTube is what's called, getting a subscription on Twitch, or joining on Patreon. Links in the description, and thank you very much to everybody who's done that. It means a lot. And then to all the fans, to every single fan, whether you love me, whether you hate me, a very sincere thank you for watching the videos. From your smug, punchable, annoying, cringe, over the top, absolute nonsense machine, the one in Best of One. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. 100,000 subscribers. It doesn't change the mission. It doesn't change the plan. We show up every day. We put on the show. So on that note, thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.